Okay, engineer, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, very good, very good. Uh, Tell me, you have 5 years of experience, right?
Six basically.
6 years. So you
Yeah.
are technically you are a senior planning engineer.
I mean, yes, handling the projects, all alone, but I haven't got this title yet.
Okay, so you have worked as a planning engineer
Yes.
for the whole 6 years, or you mix it between other professions like site and other things?
I started with the junior planning engineer.
Okay.
Then I would like to introduce first. I completed my bachelor in 2014, and then
Good.
I did my master's in construction management in 2015.
Okay.
After that, I got into a planning engineering in construction industry. Since then, I am following your, articles, your videos. So since from that period until today, I have been considering you as a mentor. Actually, I have been through so
Thank
many
you.
videos of you on YouTube. So I was very excited to have, a conversation.
Thank you.
So
It is
I
my
started as
pleasure.
a planning engineer, and now I'm working as a planning engineer. So
Very good. So my question was the whole 6 years as a planning engineer, or you work at some other thing?
no, whole 6 years as a planning engineer.
Very good. Very good. And you are now working in UAE, so you have some Gulf experience, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now 6 years, you should be a senior planning engineer, starting a senior level. In my
Yeah,
opinion, starting from 5 years. So
yeah.
yeah, as a senior planning engineer, now we'll conduct this interview. But first of all, you know that this interview is recorded, right? You have no problem with this.
Yes, yes, I don't have any problem.
Very good, very nice. Okay, so as a senior planning engineer, when you start a new project, what is the first thing you do?
Normally, I am asking my, team to provide me bill of quantity, drawings, contract documents, or if there is any miscellaneous, documents that is also required. So these are the basic documents I needed at initially starting the planning for a new project.
Okay, very nice. So now you started your project and you started creating your baseline.
Yeah.
Okay, how you are creating the baseline, especially when it comes to the cost loading and the resource loading?
Okay, before proceeding creating a baseline, I normally go through the BOQ, condition of a contract. Normally, I'm checking what is the duration of the project and what is the reviewing period. These things I note it on a paper, some of the essentials. Then I see the drawings, architectural drawings, to see the finishes. In architectural drawing, we are having a specifications of different areas. So I note it down in a different, I try to summarize it, and then
Okay,
I cross check with the BOQ as well. Some of the things, it is there in the BOQ. Some might you can get it in drawings. There are some things which is visible in the drawings, but it may not be a part of BOQ. So, reading both of them, BOQ and drawings, then I starts my planning. I check the structural drawing, if it is having a raft foundation, or if it is having a pile foundation, or if it is a steel or precast. Then I started creating a baseline with L1. Like first I put general engineering and procurement, construction testing and commissioning, and then further it is dividing accordingly.
okay.
Yeah.
What is the techniques you are using in your planning? Like when you have a BOQ and you
Yeah.
start from the BOQ linking the activities and so on. What are
Yeah.
the techniques you are using? How you link the activities to the BOQ items?
Okay, now there are various way, but the one which I am following, uh, for example, let us assume that if I'm having a G+6 floor, uh, normally at this stage, a QS engineer or any other, let's say, estimation department, they won't provide you as per your BOQ, as per your planning. It's you who apply a thumb rule, let's say. For example, in BOQ, you find a block work. It's a lump sum value of a block work. If it is a 6-floor building, I just divide accordingly. I create a, you know, level wise, that what percentage of money should be divided in one floor. Okay, so I prepare all of them. Okay, then I transfer it to the Excel and then link it to the value of BOQ. This is one of a process. The other I do, if my program is not very detailed, I put it the values in the beginning, and when I'm doing the copy paste in a WBS, okay, it is also taking the values. So this is applicable when the project is not very large or very complex. So for a smaller project, I can do at the start of the project, while in other I link it with the Excel sheets using a different formula like VLOOKUP or like this.
Okay. This is very good, actually. What about VLOOKUP? How good you are in VLOOKUP?
To be honest, I haven't, because I am doing BOQ loading and resource loading, let's say at the starting of the project. Okay. So normally I'm referring the projects, because every time, sometimes I'm forgetting the VLOOKUP. So I'm referring YouTube videos. Okay. So, but I'm quite well with, Excel while linking the BOQ and the resource to the program. Not that much, frequently I'm using it, but yeah, I mean, since it comes to the industry, if the client is required, I am doing at the starting of the project. But normally I'm preferring doing at the starting of the project. Means I'm dividing the BOQ, and then I'm putting the values in the Primavera, and then when I'm creating, let's say, copy paste for each floor, it is automatically going into a different floors. And then in the end, if my values are exceeding, or if my values are, let's say, less, I am just adjusting accordingly.
Okay. So VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, you use, which one is more you are using, VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP?
I have been using VLOOKUP, but I have used very less frequently. I have used not that much. I have used VLOOKUP. I have used VLOOKUP very limited. However, I'm doing the cost loading, but I divide the BOQ at the starting, and then when I'm creating a baseline, I'm putting the value for a one floor, and when I'm doing the copy paste, it is going into the all floor. So normally this is what practice I'm using so far.
Very good. Okay, so you know that the planning engineer, there are 3 areas for enhancement or to be considered while hiring a planning engineer, especially the senior level. You need to have some technical knowledge, you need to have some IT knowledge, and you need to have some communication skills, okay?
Yes.
So in your IT knowledge, which is related to the software, Primavera, Excel, and so on, are you using pivot tables, and are you using queries in Excel? Are you familiar with these 2 things?
I'm quite familiar with Excel only. So far, I have been using Excel. For reporting purpose, I have went through one Power BI, the same course which was I think on your website also. I tried learning Power BI also, but I am not that much. I have not acquired that much of knowledge in Power BI so far yet. I haven't used that much. So Excel, yeah, most of the reporting and everything is done on Excel.
You are using pivot table in Excel or no? In your
No, not yet. Not yet. I haven't used pivot table.
Why not? Why not? What is preventing you from learning? You will save a
Actually,
lot of time.
yes, actually, I think one of the reason is that when I started my career, it was in 2015. I have got good, support from my senior, and I think just after 2 years, I started handling a project all alone. Means from 2018 until today. So I think since I was doing the project all alone, Okay, I was fulfilling the requirement of the client, but yeah, I mean, maybe I'm still lacking in some of the things to, increase my productivity. But I tried learning several times, so but not used yet. Yeah.
Okay, okay, no problem. This is the purpose of this discussion, to just tell
Yeah.
you what you are missing and so on. But okay, pivot tables is a must now. It is not some luxury. If you are not using pivot table, you are missing a lot. So my advice to you, okay, at the beginning, you will invest more time learning pivot tables and these sorts of things, okay? And you might feel that you are more pressured or will have more pressure on work. But later on, when you start converting all your documents and reports using pivot tables, Power Queries, and even Power BI, then you will have much more time to learn more things, okay? So in my opinion, you need to start learning these IT skills as soon as possible. This is not a luxury, and this could impact your interview evaluation, by the way, because if I'm hiring a senior planning engineer and I would like to give him or her a task, and they don't know how to use pivot table or Power Query or Power BI, I know that they will take much more time than if another one is doing the other techniques. So this is in terms of the IT. I highly recommend you to study these ones, and it is not a luxury, it is a must now.
Yes.
Coming back to the technical part, as a senior planning engineer, what is the difference between revise and recovery schedule from your point of view?
Sorry, can you repeat revise and recovery?
Yes.
Okay. Normally, a recovery schedule, when your project is delaying, you keep the contractual finish date same. You do not change the contractual finish date. You try to recover the project within that period of time. In case
Okay.
of revised program, you change the contractual period. You change the contractual period with some, you need a reference as well. For example, if something is delayed by the client, or something is delayed by the authority, or something is delayed by the consultant, okay, you may go for a revised schedule. I think if contractor is delaying, we are not responsible of creating a revised schedule. In that case, a recovery is recommended.
You are taking from a contractor point of view or from a client point of view?
If I'll talk to you about, let's say, the contractor point of view, then if something is delayed by the client or the consultant, you are liable to create a revised schedule. You
Okay.
need to get the approval for that. You can prepare, you can submit to the client and the consultant. Then getting
Mhm.
approval, that is a secondary thing. And if let's say, if I'm talking about the client or the consultant, I would prefer that the contractor should submit a recovery instead of revised schedule.
Okay, very good. Now, there are two techniques when we are using revising or recovery our schedule. There is fast tracking and crashing. What are the differences between fast tracking and crashing?
Okay. For example, if I have created a baseline program and I started tracking, let's say on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis. Normally, I'm doing it on a weekly basis since I'm a full-time planning engineer on a project. If my project is getting delayed, okay, then I check that why it is delaying and what is the path. If it is a critical path, okay, I am just checking if the duration of any activity, okay, if it is more, I'm reducing the duration of the activity. However, if it is still I require that much of period, I may, put that different relationship. I started using a start to start or finish to finish relationship by providing extra resources. This is one of a way of,
So
you know,
which one is fast tracking and which one is crashing?
fast tracking and crashing. I think this is a good question. I would say fast tracking is actually in crashing. Sometimes you maintain the same contractual duration, but you run the activities parallel. As per my understanding, I might be wrong, but and in fast tracking, you I think you decrease the duration of the activities by providing extra resources. So I think
It is the other way around. Fast
yeah,
tracking, you are doing some more overlaps between the activities. So you start two activities together and so on. Crashing, you are
yes,
reducing the activity durations.
yes.
Okay.
I think I would suggest that doing in a parallel, because ultimately the resources will be the same in both the cases. And the
No, no, not the
crashing,
same. Not the same. Not necessarily the same. I will tell you why. In the fast tracking, you might work in two different trades at the same time. So you have, let's say, one team for block work, okay,
yeah,
and one team for plaster. You will not
yeah,
work, you will not wait until you complete all the block work in order to start the plaster. You will make some overlapping between these two activities, and you will start the plaster earlier. You maintain the same team size of the block work and the plaster. However, you started the plaster earlier. This is fast tracking. When it comes to the crashing, you will reduce the required time for block work and reduce the required time for plaster, even with some overlap, it is acceptable, but reducing the time will require to increase the team size. So this
yes.
is the main differences between the fast tracking and the crashing. Okay, moving forward to the technical side, when you have a claim, okay, you
Okay.
have now a claim. Which method you will use to analyze your claim?
Uh, it depends. Like there are, I have studied different claims, like 4 or 5 as built, planned versus as built. We have time impact, window analysis. However, I have used two of them. One of them is a window analysis, or let's say the time impact analysis, and other is as built and as planned. These two I have been used so far. Other I haven't used. I think, as per my understanding, like the ongoing project right now, I'll take it as an example, or let's say I will take it as a case study. In my one of a project which is I'm doing right now, we are in a piling stage, and we have found a hard strata in the foundation. As per the geotechnical report, it is a soft soil, but however, we found hard soil. So now we have redesigned the pile, which is went to the by the engineer. They have done the redesigning, and then so basically here I have used as planned and as built. Uh, I'll tell you why I have used as planned and as built. I used another technique also, window analysis. In that, I found that my delay it is showing less as compared to the as planned and as built. This is one of a reason from the contractor I preferred particularly for this event as a as built and versus as planned. Uh, I think for if the delay we are having a more than 1 or 2 different delays, or let's say more than 5 delays, in that case, I think window analysis is a good. As built and as planned would not be preferred. If it is a, let's say, one item is delayed, or only one, in that case I would prefer as built versus as planned.
Okay, I would like to hear from you first that the first
Yes,
thing you will ask yourself what the contract says. Maybe
yes,
the
yes.
method of delay analysis is mentioned
I,
clearly in the contract that if there are any delays, we should consider this method. So case closed, خلاص. If it is mentioned in the contract, it means we cannot do anything. We just need to comply with the contract, right?
right, absolutely right.
Second thing is to study which one is in your benefit. If it is not
Yes,
mentioned, okay, you will study which options and prioritize them. So this is my first priority to convince the client to use this method. This is second priority, this third priority. Then you will start negotiation with your client because you could spend days and weeks preparing a claim using one method. And simply the client will say to you, no, I don't like this method, or I have another method that is written in the contract. So it is important to specify these things before starting even. Do you know about narrative report in claims?
yes, quite
What is the
familiar with
content?
it.
What is the contents of this narrative report?
Normally, when I'm preparing a extension of a time, there are different sections, let's say the introductions, narrative, summary, where I investigate from the root cause to the calculating the final extension, and I am explaining into the narrative.
Good.
I'm going to the root cause and explaining each and everything, that when it started, how it is caused, and everything. This is the narrative. The second thing is
Chronology. What the term chronology will do?
Narrative, and the chronology is like, for example, means overall how it has happened, the event, how the event has happened. Okay, this is like the story. You can consider the story of the delays is basically the chronology.
Yes. So the chronology is the sequence of the activities or the actions happen, not the event. We are linking the event to the chronology. So at this date, this happened. At this date, this happened. At this date, this happened. So yes, you are correct about this one. Okay, moving forward, one final question in the technical part, in the planning. What's the difference between a planner and a scheduler, from your point of view?
Okay, I think a lot of people are having a different opinion, but I have been as a planner. You prepare the baseline, you go into the documents, contract documents, drawings, you plan the things accordingly, you do the resources, you do the distribution of a cost, each and everything. This is you also work on the extension of time. You know how to read the contract, means everything. I think this is a part of a planning engineer. As a scheduling engineer, I think you give this program, okay, to one of your, let's say, you can say assistant also, which might be working as a scheduler. He might not be knowing the process, how you have linked, what are the cause behind it, how you have used these links, and he don't know the story behind it. His responsibility is to update the program as per the site condition over the period of the project. Okay, his main motive is getting the output and implementing in the program and just submitting the reports.
Yes,
I think
you mentioned very nice word, the story behind it. This is all about the story behind what we are doing. So
yeah.
yes, the planning engineer can take the overall picture. He knows what is going on. He can suggest some solutions. He can, or he or she talk to the project team and make some recommendations, some negotiation. But the scheduler, most likely, they will be doing some tasks related to scheduling, putting some links, putting some updates. So our aim is to be a good planning engineers, not only schedulers, because some of us think that the Primavera is planning, which is not correct. And that's why they keep themselves in the scheduler area, and they never proceed forward to the planning area. So this will give me one question to ask you about the productivity rates. What are the productivity rates you are using?
It depends. I mean, normally the productivity rates are same everywhere. For example, let's say the block work, normally we are considering 10 to 14 meter square per crew member. For plaster, we are using 25 to 30 meter square per crew member. So basically, overall, the productivity rate is quite similar in all the organization, maybe plus minus 2 to 3 or 5, like this. So the standard productivity in UAE, I'm using that one.
Okay, but the productivity rates is not standard. The productivity rates will vary. Even in the same country, if you are using different nationalities, you will have different productivity rates. In different country, there's definitely different productivity rates.
Yes.
But my question for you, if I have productivity rates 10 hours per unit.
Okay.
Okay. So I need 10 hours per unit. And I have, let's say, 100 units. It means how many hours I need to finish this one?
It depends. Now you can use it, let's say the 10 hours also, or if you wanted to.
I will use this productivity rates 10 hours per unit, and I have 100 units. It means how many days I need to complete this task, considering I'm working 10 hours per day.
now if you are having a 100, you are saying 10 hours per unit, and you are having a 100 unit. So this means
Yeah.
that total you are having a 1000 hours. Okay, so for 1000 hours, it's up to you. Either you can consider the duration by providing a less resource.
I'm working 10 hours per day.
Okay.
How many man days? I'm not talking about duration. I need only how many man days I need.
Okay, so 1000 total you are having.
Okay.
Okay, so 1000 total is the man days now.
No, but I told you the productivity is 10 units per hour, not per day.
Oh, 10 units per hour. So you are having 100 units. So total 1000 hours are there to
Yes.
complete the task.
How many
Okay.
man days? How much man days?
So for one, I will divide it by 24.
I'm working 10 hours only per day.
I think I might be confused here now. Seems a bit confused here. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the purpose of this question, to confuse you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you shouldn't be confused.
Yes, yes. You're right.
Okay, again, I have 100 units. Okay.
Yeah.
Productivity rate is 10 hours per unit. I am working
Yeah.
10 hours per day. How many man days I need to complete
100,
this?
100 man days total.
Very good. Yes, you are correct. Why? Because I have 100 unit and I need 10 units per hour. It means I need 1000 hours, and I'm working 10 hours per day. So it means 1000 divided by 10. It is 100 man days. Regardless of the duration, if I use one resource only, I will finish it in 100 days. If I use 10 resources, I will finish in 10 days. Like that.
Right. Absolutely right.
Yes, yes. Okay, so this interview is very good, but let me tell you something. Maybe you will not like it. If this interview was in the real interview, I wouldn't put you in the first priority.
Yeah,
you have a good communication skills. Your answers is good. You have a good technical knowledge. Okay, you didn't know something, but it's okay. Okay, but what I cannot forgive is your IT knowledge, because the planning engineer should have the IT knowledge. So I would say that I'll give you as a plan B, not plan A.
Yeah.
But the good news is that you already know this. So work on yourself on this one, okay?
Yeah.
And since you agreed to make this interview, and are we going to publish it, so all the engineers will get benefit from it. So from me to you as a gift, send me an email, okay? I will send you whatever course is missing you on my website. I'll give it to you for free.
Noted. Yeah, sure.
So, and I'm expecting you to have a second interview with you when you finish this one. So let's see what is your improvement and how you improve this area. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's I am following your videos, and it has always been helpful for me. So sure, I would like to be a part of your different sessions.
Okay, but please work on yourself, because you are missing a small area, but it has a huge impact. Yeah,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sure. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this interview, and please send me in the email. I will give you all the courses you want.
Yeah, sure. It's nice talking to you, Hany Ismail.
Nice to talk to you too. Thank you very much.